Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to discuss the possible future of the Mission Impossible franchise. So spoiler alert in advance, guys. If you haven't watched the latest Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, you might get some mild spoilers in the video, but I will try to keep it as little as possible. Ethan Hunt has been defying death one impossible stunt at a time. For nearly 3 decades, Mission Impossible has redefined the action genre. But as Tom Cruise inches towards 63, one question looms over the franchise like a ticking time bomb. What's next for Mission Impossible? Is this the end of the Mission Impossible franchise? The movie itself was named Final Reckoning, and this Ethan Hunt's line from the trailer,
"I need you to trust me one last time,"
has sparked speculation on the internet that this is going to be the end of the franchise. Talking about the movie, as usual, our hero Ethan Hunt saved the world while giving heart attacks to his insurance agents, and everything turned out to be good in the end. Now here's the thing, the way this movie was ended, it can be considered as a very good ending. It closed a chapter of Ethan Hunt's life and what the movie it was said again and again. That everything he has done has come to this very moment, so the whole MI franchise before this movie felt like a setup for the Final Reckoning, but at the same time, they left things open enough that they can continue this story. Now again, I said there will be some mild spoilers. I won't spoil too much in case you are interested in watching the movie and haven't watched it yet. What made Final Reckoning particularly impactful was how it echoed back to the themes and growth that began in Mission Impossible 1996. It wasn't just the end of another mission, it was the culmination of Ethan's personal and professional evolution. Every betrayal, every sacrifice, every decision led him to this point. The film subtly honored his entire arc, often referencing past challenges and characters, creating a feeling of finality without stating it outright. So, the thing is, Ethan's still alive, which leaves the door wide open for more adventures. But Final Reckoning felt like more than just another mission. It played like a perfect conclusion to a journey that began all the way back in Mission Impossible 9. The film didn't just wrap up a plot, it brought emotional closure to a man who's carried the weight of the world on his shoulders for almost 30 years. The moment Ethan walks away at the end isn't just about completing a mission. It's about finally choosing peace over chaos. From losing friends like Ilsa to nearly dying countless times, Final Reckoning echoes everything Ethan has sacrificed. It's not just a finale, it's a farewell note, whispered under all the explosions and chases. And that makes it feel deeply personal for fans who've been with him since the beginning. In Emmett 1, we meet Ethan Hunt as a loyal IMF agent betrayed by Phelps. He's broken but driven, pulling off that iconic Langley Vault heist. MI2 sees him climb a literal mountain rock climbing scene to stop a rogue agent. It's where we first see him sharpening both his skill and will. MI3 deepens his emotional side with his relationship with Julia and his showdown over the rabbit's foot. His motivations grow personal. Ghost Protocol reshapes Ethan into a global leader, saving the world from nuclear war. He goes from lone wolf to team leader. Rogue Nation tests his trust and loyalty, especially with Ilsa Faust standing by his side. In Fallout, the emotional stakes hit hard. Ethan's fight to protect Julia brings us the most human moment yet. Dead Reckoning Part 1 pushes him into shadow warfare. Ethan goes rogue himself to stop the powerful AI known as the Entity. And now in Final Reckoning, he gathers the world's nukes, sacrifices old teammates, goes underwater, even biplane stunts, only to stop the Entity and fade away into the crowd. It wraps up his evolution from betrayed agent to mythic protector. It's almost mythic now. Ethan Hunt has evolved from an elite agent to a near-mythological figure in the world of espionage cinema. Every film layered something new: trust, love, loss, legacy. And now he fades into the crowd not because he's defeated, but because his part in the story is finally fulfilled. It's a hero's exit that mirrors classic arcs like Batman retiring after saving Gotham or Logan's final stand. Only here it's done through underwater escapes and zero-G biplane stunts. So yes, the perfect ending to this arc feels complete. But because Ethan is alive, the lip service, the Final Reckoning isn't truly final, still holds. It's a clean, full circle, but not a door slam. And When you notice how in the last two movies, Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning, many new characters have been introduced, and it will be a waste of opportunity and these characters' potential to not explore them. Now what I am thinking is that yes, there is a very big possibility that there will be a Mission Impossible 9 with Tom returning as Ethan and seeing the normal Hollywood trend. It will most likely happen. Tom Cruise is the face of this franchise. Everyone knows this franchise because of Tom Cruise and the extreme lengths he goes to do stunts for this franchise, and we all love to see him in this role. Since 1996, Tom Cruise has been at the heart and on the face of Mission Impossible. Each film raised the stakes, blending practical stunts with spycraft. And let's be honest, who else would actually jump off a mountain, a building, and a plane? It's not just the stunts either. Tom Cruise has redefined what it means to carry a franchise, not just starring in it, but producing it, shaping it, living it. Behind-the-scenes footage shows him rehearsing death-defying jumps for months just to get a few seconds of raw, authentic adrenaline on screen. This commitment is why fans trust the MI name. It's earned, and that trust will play a huge part in how the franchise continues, whether with or without him front and center. But there is a thing that we all cannot deny, and that is the age factor. Yes, it's true that at the age of 62, he is doing such stunts that most of the people can't even dream of doing themselves, but still he is over 60 and he can only do it for long enough. Sooner or later, he will have to pass the torch. But to whom? I think the answer has been answered in the Final Reckoning. And this brings us to our second possibility, changing the lead. During the movie, Ethan made Benji the leader of the team in his absence, and his exact words were, "This is your team now." This can be a subtle hint towards the transition of lead. Other than Benji, Haley Atwell's character, Grace, introduced in Dead Reckoning, also seems like a possible lead for future missions. The new IMF team, formed at the end with or without Ethan, is solid and covers almost all bases. Tom Cruise can keep appearing in the franchise by doing cameos and small roles, probably jumping off a space station this time. Or perhaps he takes on a mentor role, appearing not just for thrills, but to guide the next generation through impossible odds. It would echo the passing the torch theme we saw with characters like Jim Phelps in the original series, and turn Ethan Hunt into the wise shadow who operates in the background. That way, we still get our Cruise fix, just with a new dynamic. One more direction the franchise can go into is making spin-offs, just like how the John Wick franchise is doing it now. Benji is a fan-favorite character, and people would surely like to see him taking the spotlight in his solo movies. Similarly, Grace's character can be explored, and not to forget, Jeremy Renner's character, William Brandt, who last appeared in Rogue Nation, can also make a comeback with his own solo movie. Other than this, there is another course of action that they can take. Prequels. Just like the Star Wars universe, this can help us in expanding the lore of this universe. It also makes sense when considering that we have known Ethan Hunt for almost 3 decades now, but we still do not know his backstory. What happened between him and Gabriel? Why he joined the IMF in the first place? We've got no clue about this. I'm sure people would love to see background stories of Ethan, Benji, Luther, Ilsa, Grace, and even others. This doesn't necessarily have to be a high-budget blockbuster. They can tell these stories in the form of a TV series, just like the Penguin from the Batman universe. Imagine an IMF origin series. How was the agency built? Who were the first agents before Ethan? Even standalone stories about the mission before the mission could work. Mini episodes or anthology-style tales featuring agents across different eras. It opens doors creatively, beyond just the next big blockbuster. This will help in expanding the franchise by introducing new storylines and characters while exploring the existing ones. So what does the future hold for Mission Impossible? Well, the truth is, it could go in any direction. Whether it's a direct sequel with Tom Cruise strapping on the parachute one more time, a brand new lead stepping up for the next generation of missions, or a completely fresh take through spin-offs or prequels, the groundwork is already laid. This franchise has always thrived on reinvention. From the high-tech thriller vibe of the first film to the bombastic, globe-trotting epics of the recent ones, Mission Impossible has proven it can evolve while staying true to its roots. What's exciting is that we're not just talking about continuing a story, we're talking about expanding a universe. The supporting characters are strong enough to carry their own films. The unresolved history is deep enough to explore prequels. And the action formula? Timeless. But most importantly, the heart of this franchise, Ethan Hunt's relentless commitment to doing what's right, no matter the cost, has left a lasting legacy. Whether that torch gets passed to Benji, Grace, or someone new, the message remains the same. The mission matters, and failure is never an option. And let's be real, fans aren't ready to say goodbye. Not yet. Not after the cliff dives, helicopter chases, nuclear countdowns, and heartbreaking goodbyes. This franchise is more than just adrenaline. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, and the impossible decisions heroes make when no one else will. So maybe Final Reckoning was the end of an era, or maybe it was just the beginning of something new. And maybe that's the beauty of Mission Impossible. It's not bound to one formula, one actor, or even one genre. It's a living legacy rooted in grit, driven by character, and open to reinvention. The question now isn't can they continue, it's how bold are they willing to go. Let me know in the comments, do you think we'll see Mission Impossible 9? Would you be down for a prequel series, or are you ready to see a new lead take the spotlight? Your mission, should you choose to accept it? Hit that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and as always, thanks for watching. This video will end in 5 seconds.